Week 14 of the NFL season is in the books. We had another great week of football. Let's recap everything that happened. We're going to start off with the Thursday night game, the Green Bay Packers versus the Detroit Lions. What an absolutely unbelievable game this was. Absolute back and forth, back and forth. Two heavyweights of the NFC. I mean, that's what it is. Two heavyweights of the NFC just going back and forth, fighting and fighting and fighting. Lions take an early lead. Just when it looks like Lions are about to pull away, Packers storm back, take a lead instantaneously in the third quarter, and it's just back and forth madness. Madness. All that being said leads to 31-31. End of the game, late fourth quarter. The Lions are driving down the field. It is 4th and 1. Dan Campbell, a.k.a. Dan Gamble, can choose to kick a field goal, win the game, not win the game, but essentially take a 3-point lead with about, 30 seconds or so left. Packers have no timeouts. Instead, Dan Gamble, having balls of steel, he has, at this point, 5 different ball sacks. This guy is so ballsy. Chooses to go for it on 4th and 1. 4th and 1. When you can kick a field goal for the lead and just play a little bit of defense, he goes for it. On that 4th down play, Jared Goff trips and falls and manages to hand it off to Montgomery, and Montgomery picks up the first. Lions obviously drain the clock, kick the game-winning field goal for the win. I didn't necessarily mind. I had Packers to cover. Packers did cover. But what bothers me about this play is the stupidity. It was unnecessary. Going for it there is unnecessary. Take the points, play some defense. It's not like your defense is shit. If their defense was shit, I'd be like, okay, fine. I can see why you go for it. It's an unnecessary risk that could have cost the Lions the game. If they keep doing this type of play calling, it will bite them in the ass. They can't pull this shit off in the playoffs because I guarantee they try something like this in the playoffs, it will backfire really, really badly. And if it does, y'all better come back to this video and be like, whoa, he was right. Dan Gamble is a great coach, but decisions like this have to be better. You can't take unnecessary risks. It's an unnecessary risk that wasn't needed. In any case, fantastic game. The Lions continue to roll. I don't even know what their winning streak is at now. Probably like 10 games, 9 games. They're just unbelievable at this point. Packers as well. They're 9-4. More likely than not, they're not going to win their division. They're still probably going to make the playoffs unless it's like an epic collapse. Both teams are very good. They're built for a playoff run. Two great teams going head to head. What else do you expect? I'm just a little bit disappointed in the decision to go for it. That's it. Next game. Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Tennessee Titans. What an absolute slugfest this was. Oh my God. Oh my God. Absolute torture to watch. I bet on this game. I won it. Thank God. I had Jaguars to cover. They did. They won outright. I had Jaguars to cover and win, which they did. What a disgusting, disgusting display. First, Titans kick a field goal very early in the game. It's 3-0 pretty much for the entirety of the game. Then Titans go up by 6-0. Jaguars look done. They're out. They look horrible. Finally, a competent Jaguars drive in the second half. They kick a field goal. It's 3-6. Back and forth of absolute bullshit. And then, finally, Mac Jones and the Jaguars, with Brian Thomas, if I'm not mistaken his name, go down the field and score a tutty. A beautiful, beautiful tutty. And the Jaguars take the lead and ultimately go on to win the game. I'm not going to spend too long on this game. It's completely irrelevant. Both teams are garbage. I'm just happy I won my bet in an absolute shit show of a game. It was horrible. This game was horrible. Nothing really to say here. No playoff implications. Two bums going at it. Chances are Dougie P's still going to be fired probably by the end of the season. But at least it was a good win for the Jaguars because they looked down and out. It was bad. It was real, real bad. But they clutched up. That's all that matters. Next game, The Carolina Panthers versus the Philadelphia Eagles. What the fuck is going on with the Panthers? What happened to Bryce Young? Did he beat the bust allegations? He may have. Bryce Young may have actually beat the bust allegations. Panthers played unbelievable this game. They played so well that they were this close to winning this game. Xavier Langley, whatever the fuck his name is, was this close to catching that pass late in the fourth quarter to set the Panthers up with first and goal with a chance to score a touchdown and take the lead, I should say, potentially beating the Philadelphia Eagles, one of the best teams in the NFL. Unfortunately, he dropped the pass. The Panthers ended up losing. They did cover, though. I did sprinkle a little bit on the Panthers, like I said, and they did cover the spread, which is important. Now, I'm sure, as you guys all know, it was all over social media and shit. There was somebody that bet $3 million to win like $300,000 or whatever it was on the Eagles. This man has that Xavier Langley jersey hung up in his dining room. The man was sweating his balls out probably, thinking the Panthers actually had a chance to win this game. In any case, congrats to the Panthers. You guys played unbelievable. And the way this team is playing these last few weeks, it's setting up to be a much improved team. Next year, don't sleep on the Panthers. They're going to be a sleeper team with the way they've been playing. If Bryce Young keeps balling the way he has, Panthers are going to be unstoppable. Don't sleep on Carolina. Not for Philly. Philly's still really good. I don't think this is a fraud check, but they definitely did not play as well as they could have. Jalen Hurts is a problem. The man cannot read defenses as well as you'd like him to. He makes these stupid throws and stupid mistakes at times that cost Eagles not the game, because obviously they're 11-2, and since I think they're on a 10-game winning streak? 9-game winning streak? 9 games, because they were 2-2 and 11-2. Yeah, they're in like 9-game winning streak. Jalen Hurts is kind of a problem, but in any case, as long as this Philly team just keeps running the ball, pounding the rock with Saquon, with Hurts, they're going to find success. They almost lost this game, but they found a way to win, and that's what matters. Even though it did kind of get lucky because of the Xavier Langley incompletion. In any case, great game. Surprisingly enough, great game. Panthers covered. Philly won. It was entertaining as hell. You know, I don't want to say this is a fraud check for Philly, but they have to play better, especially against a team like Carolina. Next game. Las Vegas Raiders versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in a super weird one where Buccaneers dominate at first. They take like a 14-0 lead. It's looking like they're going to run away with it, and all of a sudden, the Raiders kick it into another gear and make it a close game. I think it was like 13-14 at one point. I was like, whoa, maybe the Panthers actually will cover and win. That would be insane. Like I said, it would be absolutely insane, but I could see it happening. And then the Buccaneers finally strapped down, got their heads out of their asses, and clutched up. They put up 2 touchdowns, controlled the clock, played well, and absolutely dominated the Raiders. We'll start with the Raiders first. The Raiders season is over. It's over. AOC apparently has a season-ending injury. This is the second quarterback to suffer a season-ending injury with the Raiders. That means their starter is going to be Desmond Shitter, which, I mean, at this point, my fat ass would be better quarterback than Desmond Shitter. These guys are just going to try to lose out as much as possible, get themselves a number 1 overall pick, and restart their franchise with whatever, Shador or Cam Ward, whoever it's going to be. Raiders just want to lose at this point, get themselves a good pick, because there's no hope. They're eliminated from the playoffs. They have no chance of doing anything this year. Desmond Shitter is not going to win them a game. They're going to lose out. Let's be honest here. Buccaneers. All of a sudden, with all the injuries and problems Buccaneers were facing in the midseason, boom. They are now in control of the NFC South. Just like that, they are in first place of the NFC South. And with the way Falcons have been playing this last month or so, Buccaneers may cruise to a division title, which is crazy to think about considering how well the Falcons were playing at the start of the season. In any case, it was a great effort by Raiders, but an even better effort by the Buccaneers to clutch up, win the game, cover the spread. And now Buccaneers looking dangerous as hell. Everyone's starting to get healthy again. The younger receivers, the McMillan kids starting to emerge. Bucky Irvin starting to become a real threat. Buccaneers are a sleeper team. Don't overestimate them. Or I should say, underlook them. They can fuck somebody up badly. Badly. Don't sleep on Tampa. Next game. Atlanta Falcons versus the Minnesota Vikings. Atlanta Falcons kept it close in the beginning of the game, but they got absolutely dominated. Absolutely dominated. Their defense could not stop a nosebleed. There was one play where Justin Jefferson crossed out that Atlanta defender so badly, somebody needs to get this man a map. Jay Jetta was standing there, wide open, just waiting for the catch. Boom, tutty, easy money. This dude was looking like Henry Ruggs on the highway, the way he was just scrambling around, trying to find where Jetta was. Disgusting. Disgusting display by the Falcons. Embarrassing display by the Falcons. The fact that they could not cover, they could not keep it close, and they just overall suck. The core issue here, besides the defense being atrocious, is two things. Raheem Morris, who's not him anymore, is not a great coach. You would expect him to be better, considering he's a defensive-minded coach, and the defense is constantly a problem. They can't do a fucking thing. So Morris is a problem, but more importantly, Kirk Cousins is a massive, massive issue. The man is 36 years old, coming off an Achilles tear, and he sucks. Let me explain to you something. The last time this man threw a touchdown pass, Donald Trump had not been elected president yet. It's been a month! It's been a month! In his last 4 games, he's had 0 touchdown passes to 8 interceptions. He's a turnover machine. He cannot produce. He cannot score. Kirk Cousins is going to be the death of this Atlanta team. And if they don't make a quarterback change ASAP, they're not making the playoffs. They're going to continue to lose. And as much as it's crazy as it sounds, it's time to play Michael Penix Jr. He could be the answer that the Falcons are looking for and could give the Falcons the spark needed. Now, would you be willing to bench a quarterback you just paid $180 million to? That's a good question. Probably not. But with the way Cousins has been playing, benching him should be considered. Falcons are going to keep losing if they don't make a change, whether it be on defense, whether it be in play calling, whether it be at quarterback. Minnesota, you guys look unbelievable. 11-2. You guys are cruising to the playoffs. You might not win your division because unfortunately the Lions are just killers, but you can still make a good playoff run. The offense is unbelievable. Sammy D is just a killer too. Sammy D is balling. The offense is crazy. This receiving core with Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison is wild. Vikings are such a good team. Brian Flores is leading this Vikings defense that looks unbelievable. Don't sleep on Minnesota. Do not sleep on Minnesota. They can fuck shit up for a lot of different teams. They are very underrated in my opinion and can make a good playoff run, especially if the matchup is correct. Damn, Vikings, y'all looking good, real good. Next game, the Cleveland Browns versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. This game was interesting because at first, Steelers just could not move the ball. It was 3 and out after 3 and out. They looked horrible. And the Browns took an early lead. I think it was like 7-3 or whatever. Browns were looking like, oh, they might actually beat them for the second time this season. That would be crazy for how bad the Browns have been and how good the Steelers have. But the Steelers clutched up. They knew what they had to do. The defense stepped up, made Jameis Winston look like a fool, and more importantly, Russell Wilson, a.k.a. Danger Russ, a.k.a. Mr. Unlimited, balled out. He did his thing. He led the he led the Steelers to a win over the Browns. They covered the spread as well. even though the Browns had a chance to cover the spread, but for some reason they like hate covering the spread late in the game. I don't know what's going on with the Browns and covering. Someone needs to investigate that shit. But in any case, Steelers played fantastic ball here. They started off a little slow, but they found their rhythm as the game progressed. They dominated offensively, defensively. It was a great game. Browns, they're out of the playoffs. Their season is over. At this point, they're better off just losing out, getting themselves a better pick for next year. Steelers looking real dangerous. They are, I think, tied for second, if I'm not mistaken, in the AFC. They are a threat. The Steelers are a threat. They have a massive matchup coming up next week. But in any case, it was a good win for the Steelers, and they continue to play Steelers style of football, where they got effective defense, good run game, and Russell Wilson can move the ball when needed. Good win for the Steelers. Next game, the New Orleans Saints versus the New York Giants. I mean, can the Giants make it any more obvious they're tanking? I mean, seriously. Besides the fact that Drew Lock literally could have ran for a first down and instead took a right turn to not get a first down, like all this different plays and shit. This was a horrible game. Horrible game all the way through. It looked like Saints were just going to cruise their way to a victory when all of a sudden the Giants remembered how to play football. They go down the field. It's 11-14 like the final score says. They set themselves up for like a 30-yard field goal, 35-yard field goal. And of course, take a guess what happens. The field goal is blocked and the Giants lose. Surprise, surprise? Not really. Good win by Coach Riz and the Saints. Coach Riz has been doing very good with the Saints team. They've been playing much better, even though it looks like Derek Carbage fractured his hand and cracked his head open. Yeah, so they might be in trouble considering their starting QB is out, and the last time he was out early in the year is when the Saints completely collapsed. But in any case, Saints still have a chance to make the playoffs, especially with their division not being that good, but I doubt it. All the injuries are piling up. They played well against the Giants, but it's the Giants. Giants suck. Giants are atrocious. They are the worst team in the NFL. I'm saying that. I think they're worse than the Raiders. I really do. They are an embarrassment. An absolute embarrassment. They are trying their best to lose. I don't know if they're going to fire Daboll after the season, but they probably should. Yeah, I have nothing to say about the Giants team. I don't know what direction they're trying to go into, but they are a mess. An absolute mess. It's one of those things where a Giants fan is probably happy that they lost, but at the same time sad that they lost. It's conflicting emotions. Giants suck. Speaking of New York teams sucking, next game, the New York Jets versus the Miami Dolphins. As a suffering Jets fan, I can tell you guys this. I think this was the best possible outcome for this game that could have happened. The season's over. We've officially been eliminated from the playoffs for the, 14th year in a row? Oh, unbelievable. But more importantly, the offense played amazing football for the first time this season. The offense actually looked competent. They could have won this game. They didn't, unfortunately. It's a tie game, 26-26 in the regular time. It goes to overtime. Dolphins win the toss, get the ball, and just drive down the field with ease. The Jets defense forgot how to play. Maybe they were told to, throw the game, let the Dolphins score. But in any case, I did not want to see the Jets win. I told you guys, I wanted the Dolphins to win and cover, which is what the Dolphins did. The Jets played well enough for me to say, okay, I saw some good potential. Garrett Wilson had a great game. Devontae had a nice catch, a few good catches, good touchdown plays. And overall, the Jets team played very well. Even Braylon Allen, who we were missing Breece Hall, stepped up, looked really good. Isaiah Davis too. But they still lost. Now, I'm just hoping the Jets continue to lose. Hopefully teams like the Giants and the Raiders win a little bit so the Jets can get a little bit more of an advantage, bounce themselves up, get a better draft pick. I just want a good draft pick. The season is over. Get rid of Rodgers, fire Ulbrich, fire the entire staff. It's a rebuilding season next year. New coaching staff, new general management, new quarterback, you name it. We need new personnel everywhere. Dolphins, you rallied, you came back. When you thought you were going to get fraud checked by the Jets, you didn't, and you won. Now, most importantly, you're 6-7. You're still in playoff position, or at least in a position to make a run for the playoffs, and you keep winning, you'll make it in. Will they keep winning? That's to be determined, but at least the Dolphins are putting in an effort, unlike the Jets. Good win for the Dolphins. You rallied, you came back, and good loss for the Jets. I'm happy. I really am. It's to the point in the season where I'd rather lose than win. We have no hope. Playoffs have been officially eliminated. We've officially been eliminated. It does not matter if we win. It only matters if we lose, because in April we will win. That's what matters. Next game. The Seattle Seahawks versus the Arizona Cardinals. I know there's a few of you waiting for me to talk about this game. I'll admit it. I know you guys want me to admit it. I'll admit it. The Seattle Seahawks are better than I thought. I apologize for shitting on the Seahawks as much as I did. I was a big Cardinals guy. I genuinely thought Cardinals could go and win this division. They're not. It looks like the Seahawks are going to win the division. Unless the Rams go crazy, which we'll get to the Rams game. They might. But in any case, the Seahawks outplayed the Cardinals. From the moment the Cardinals scored the first points. After that, the Seahawks just drove up and down the field. The Cardinals defense could not stop Geno. They could not stop the Seahawks offense if their life depended on it. The Seahawks are legit. They are legit. I don't want to say will win the division, could win the division. They could make the playoffs, but they're definitely better than the Cardinals. That's, I'll admit, for sure. It was a great, great performance by Seattle. It's what you want to see from a Seattle team, and I got to give them a lot of credit. I'm giving the Seahawks the credit they deserve, like I said I would. I said in my video, if the Seahawks won this game, I'd give them the credit they deserve. I'm giving them their flowers. I'm giving them the credit. They are legit. They are better than the Cardinals, and they made me look like an idiot for the millionth time this season. Good shit, Seattle. Arizona, I thought you were better than this. I thought the defense was more improved, and I thought you would have more opportunity to win this type of game. But you didn't. Kyler, interception after interception, stupid mistakes early in the game to set the Seahawks up in prime position to score. You are not helping your defense by committing these stupid-ass turnovers on your side of the field. Kyler needs to play better, stop making stupid throws, and maybe then Arizona could have won this game, because they only started to play real football when it didn't matter anymore and when the game was out of reach. It was a great win by Seattle, shit performance by Arizona. I really hope Arizona can rally, but at this point, there's no chance they win this division. They look like absolute dog shit. Good win for Seattle. Next game, the Chicago Bears versus the San Francisco 49ers. This is what I get. This is what I get for picking a fucking team led by a quarterback that paints his fucking fingernails. The Bears are so bad. How many fucking yards did they have at halftime? 4? They looked so bad. It was atrocious. This performance from the Bears is embarrassing. This team fucking sucks. With all the potential they have, and they suck. Caleb sucks. He's so bad. He's such a bust. He's nowhere near JD. He's nowhere near Bo Nix. He's nowhere near Drake May. And once Michael Penix Jr. has a chance to play, he's nowhere near him either. Absolute bust. Absolute trash. Bears are fucking atrocious. I can't believe I put my hard-earned money on the fucking Bears. I deserve to lose that one. And some of y'all were telling me, why would you bet on the Bears? Why would you bet on the Bears? You were right. I should have listened to y'all. 49ers, great performance. You needed this win really badly to keep yourselves afloat in the NFC West. You still have a chance to rally, but unfortunately now, The running back, Isaiah, whatever his name is, Gugarito, whatever the fuck is, I don't know his fucking last name, is also injured. I think he sprained something. So that's the third running back that's injured now. The 49ers just running backs are depleted. Everyone's getting hurt. And the most important part is the 49ers offense is centered around running the ball and running the ball effectively. The injuries are what's going to hold this Niners team back. They're not going to play the Bears every week. And eventually, they're going to play better teams who could A, score, and B, play defense. Good win for the Niners. It's a good way to get them back on track. But unfortunately, it seems like the injuries is what's going to hold this team back. Bears are atrocious. You are dog shit. You are horrible. You should fucking cut Caleb right now. I know they're not going to do that because they're going to give him another 2 to 3 seasons because he's the first overall pick. But I'm telling you, Caleb sucks. He sucks. Next game. Game of the week. Buffalo Bills versus the Los Angeles Rams. What a great performance from both teams. But more specifically, the Rams. This is one of those games where by the final score, it looks like it was much closer than it really was. But in reality, it was never close. I don't think there was a point in this game where the Bills actually had a lead. It was tied, but the Bills did not lead at any point. Every time Rams would score, right? Bills would answer. But then Rams would just continue to pile and pile on. Rams just bullied the Bills defense. They moved the ball up and down the field. The Rams, no one played defense in this game, but the Rams offense looked spectacular. Rams would score, Bills would answer, Rams would answer every time. It was like a 10-point gap throughout the whole game where every time the Bills tried to cut in, the Rams said, fuck you, you can't do shit to us. Rams played unbelievably offensively. Now, I know there's a lot of controversy about that 4th down play late in the game. Should have been called a false start, blah, blah, blah. The Rams deserve this win. They really did. They balled the fuck out. And the Bills, they lost. They're still really good. They're 10-3. They didn't get fraud checked in this game. You don't lose a game 42-44 and say you got fraud checked. If they lost by fucking 30 points, they would have got fraud checked. This game did not. I still believe the Bills are real contenders. They're true contenders. I'm not worried about the Bills team. But the Rams, this is the type of game that rallies a team. Imagine they just pop off and go win out the rest of their games. And all of a sudden, they're going into the playoffs with all the momentum in the world. That could genuinely happen. Don't sleep on this Rams team. After this offensive performance, you can see how well this Rams team is built, especially offensively. Great job by the Rams. Unbelievable offense. Stafford balled. Cooper Kupp balled. Puka balled. Blake Corum balled. Kyron Williams balled. Everybody balled out for the fucking Rams. Everybody was eating. They controlled this game from the very beginning to the very end and did not let the Bills in. Only late in the fourth quarter, like the fourth quarter-ish, the Bills kind of rallied, tried to make a comeback, but the Rams shut that shit down. Good win by the Rams. Good effort by the Bills. Absolute great game. And a game that showed me two teams that can genuinely make a strong playoff push. Next game. Sunday Night Football, the Los Angeles Chargers versus the Kansas City Chiefs in a very strange game. The Chiefs controlled the first half. It was like 13-zip. They looked like they were just going to absolutely dominate the Chargers. All of a sudden, in the third quarter, the Chargers woke up, started playing football, and boom, took a 14-13 lead very early. In the third. Not very early, but like in the middle of the third quarter. Everyone's like, oh shit. Chiefs might actually lose this game. Chiefs go down the field, kick a field goal. Chargers go down the field, answer with a field goal. It's 17-16. When the Chargers kicked that field goal to make it 17-16, you knew there was too much time on the clock. The Chiefs, who sold their soul to the Devils, are going to use their black magic and do what they do best. And that's exactly what they did. A prime Patrick Mahomes drive. Beautiful. That Mahomes drive was unbelievable. I'm turning into Chris Collinsworth the way I have to glaze Mahomes here. Because that throw on 3rd and 10 to Xavier Worthy was unbelievable. That throw on whatever it was, 3rd and 8 to get them in field goal, not range, but like to ice out the clock, to Travis Kelce when Mahomes ran out right, made a nice little juke move and tossed it to Kelce. Unbelievable. It was just a beautiful display of football. Great running by Pacheco. The Chiefs did their thing. 17-16. They kicked the field goal, like 25-yard, 30-yard field goal. The shit bounces off the fucking left cross, the upright, and turns in. Unbelievable. Only the Chiefs can get away with this bullshit, the black magic nonsense. They called it, I think Tirico called it the doink for the division, whatever it was. But in any case, Chiefs won the division. They played well enough. It seems like every week it's the same old bullshit with them. They do everything just to scrape by. Will it matter in the long run? Probably not. But I'm letting you know right now, like I say every week, these type of performances will not work in the playoffs. In the playoffs, you will lose like this. You have to play better because you're going to get fraud checked. You can't play like this in the playoffs. You can't. It's just continuously lucky bullshit that falls their way. The drive was not lucky. The doink in was very lucky. Chargers played great, but unfortunately, that first half struggle is what cost them the game. They did cover though. Chargers +5. I'll take it. Chargers did cover. Great game, even though it was a bit slower pace and really picked up in the second half. But Chiefs get away with their black magic bullshit. And now we get to Monday Night Football, where the Cincinnati Bengals were taking on the Dallas Cowboys. What a game this was. I did not think this was going to be as entertaining as it was, but god damn it, it was mad funny. The game starts out as you would expect it to. Bengals start hot. Cowboys kind of match. All in all, it's 17-10 by halftime. Bengals are in the lead. It's looking like Bengals are playing well in the first half. They'll continue the momentum into the second half. But that's not true. The third quarter was the quarter of the Cowboy. The Cowboys scored 10 points in that third quarter to take a 20-17 lead. It's now the fourth quarter, and the funniest thing that could have happened did happen. Bengals go, tie up the game. It's 20-20. Cowboys get the ball back. They punt. Bengals get the ball. Bengals are driving down the field with like 4 to 5 minutes left in the fourth, looking like they're just going to run out the clock, ice it out, drive down, don't even give the Cowboys the chance to answer. They get holding on a first down play. They push it back. It's like 2nd and 26. They get another holding. It's like 2nd and 26. All in all, Bengals cannot convert, can't score the first down. The Bengals are currently punting. As they're punting, the Cowboys block the kick, literally block the kick. But instead of going backward, it goes forward, bounces, and the Cowboys player touches the ball, and the Bengals recover. Because that Cowboy touched the ball, it counts as a live ball and a fumble, with the Bengals recovering and getting a first down. I'm not even making this up. The Cowboys literally invent new ways to lose every fucking week. Bengals get the ball back. They move the ball a little bit down the field. Burrow hits Chase at like their 50-yard line, 40-yard line. Chase turns around, 40-yard touchdown. It's 27-20. And from that point on, Cowboys couldn't do shit. And Bengals go on to win 27-20. First of all, if you had Cowboys spread, I feel bad for you. I would be sick if I had Cowboys spread. I would have thrown up. That was such a bad beat. Such a bad beat from a blocked punt to a Chase touchdown. Holy shit. But just how bad this Cowboys team performed. It's unbelievable. They didn't play bad the whole game, but everything now is going to be overshadowed by that fucking punt. It's crazy. What an embarrassment. Micah Parsons was literally crying on the sideline. The man stormed off the field. The guy's going to turn to Draymond Green, getting on his podcast and bitching about how bad the Cowboys punting unit is. embarrassment. Absolute embarrassment. As for the Bengals, not that great of a performance. They're this weird team where offensively they're really good, but defensively they're absolute dog shit. I don't think with the way they've been playing, the Bengals will make the playoffs. They won't. It's not consistent enough. And the fact that you almost lost to the Cowboys, who were completely depleted every which way, is pretty embarrassing. You won in the end, but you shouldn't have. If the Cowboys knew how to fucking run a special teams unit, they would have won with ease. But in any case, the Cowboys lose again. The Bengals clutch it up. Maybe this can spark a Bengals run, but even then, with the way they're playing, I doubt it. Overall, it was a great Week 14 of the NFL. So many storylines, so many jokes. It was amazing. Stay tuned for more content coming soon.